Cross off the word draft and write final.
There you go.
You ready to start?
Yep, ready to
Start.
start. Call to order at 1:30. A motion to approve the agenda. Does anybody have anything else they want to add? Well, I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approval of minutes. So the first are from August 21st. That's the meeting you weren't at, Doug.
Yep.
We covered quite a bit, but Peg, did you see anything in reading through, or Asia, errors or typos or anything?
No.
All right, then would you make a motion to accept them?
I so move.
Doug, you can second it even if you.
Okay,
vote
yeah,
on
sure,
it.
I'll second it, sure.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain?
Aye. Aye. Whatever, abstain.
And September 11. The more recent one where
It's a good meeting.
we're all here. Yep. That's right, we mostly meant to talk about the Telview contract at that meeting and did cover a couple
Right,
other
I didn't
things.
know more about stuff until.
All right. I would make a motion that we accept these minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Now, some of this stuff we're gonna continue today, right?
Yeah.
The only, sorry, I'm a little slow on the uptake now. The only other thing maybe to add to the minutes is who the videographer was and if they were present. And now I don't remember if I was.
Right. Oh,
I
Yes,
honestly don't remember.
I usually do that.
Who it was, or if it was just me, or if there was someone else here.
Yeah, I haven't done that the last two, which is unusual. I bet it was Carol both times. I remember her being here recently.
I remember her too.
And sometimes it is just me, but I guess we can check on that, but.
I know you were here.
All right,
Well, I
then,
was here, but was I the only one here? Was Carol here too?
Yes, because you couldn't have been sitting there as a director and yours up there
Well-
taking.
she could like now do both, and that has happened occasionally.
Yeah.
But I'm quite certain I remember. And the previous one when, Noreen hasn't been at either of these. It was Beck. Is that right? Right, because going back to the August minutes, there I do have that, Carol was videographer and Noreen was here. But that's right, Noreen did not come to the September meeting. Can you check back records? Okay.
Yeah, that's what's here.
Right, that was August. Yeah.
Did you say you left something in my back door?
Yeah, what you have folded in your hand.
But I just got that message from you a day or two, but these have been in here a long time. I have not checked my back door.
I left them yesterday, and
I knew that.
and I texted, and I emailed or
You
texted you
did.
yesterday, yeah. But you don't go in your back door? I guess you go into the
Yes.
garage?
No, we go in the back door often enough that
Okay.
I would have seen them.
Well, I guess you saw them, because you have them. All right, so Carol. So she was the videographer, I will have those. Okay, finances. So we'll talk about budget later, but just the profit and loss and transaction detail. One thing I noticed was that Linda put the cost of the Telview service into the line item for PEG Online Services.
Mhm.
that amount had been much lower previously. It used to be $2,700, and now it shows as $8,590.
That's
So
right.
she moved that out of our trust fund
Right.
and put it into our budget.
That's an annual fee? Or is that a three-year
No,
contract?
that's the every 4 years
Yeah,
one.
okay.
Just the 2,700 would be annual.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that was the biggest expense in the last couple of months. Yeah, that is mostly wages and. I guess I haven't asked before or don't remember, what do we pay Charter Communication for, $43 every month?
That's just our cable bill.
Oh, okay, okay. So we pay a bill even though we get services from them, we still,
Yeah.
okay, have a cable bill.
Yeah, the only thing you get from them is cable TV. This is for internet.
Okay, okay,
Oh,
Okay.
this is internet?
okay, okay,
Oh.
At the garage.
all right.
Oh,
That's half what they charge me.
I think we get a discount.
Maybe.
Cause isn't it also split between the town hall or something too? Maybe not, maybe it's
No.
separate.
No.
Okay.
All right, so I would entertain a motion to accept the financial reports.
So moved.
Second?
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Are we doing a budget today?
Yes, it's down further on the,
Yeah.
under new business. Franchise agreement status. When I came to the selectmen meeting to talk about renovations at the office, the franchise agreement came up a little bit, and what I understood, no, I don't remember if it was Linda, no, I think it was one of the selectmen said that the attorney who's working on it for us is trying to get one town's passed as a, precedent. I'd thought earlier from what Linda had said that she was trying to put all the towns together
Right.
to go at once.
Right.
So I'm not sure which of those it is, but at any rate.
Status is still
And
undetermined.
I sent Joy a message just this morning saying, what's the status? I haven't heard a word from you guys, so,
Joy is
Selectman,
selectman, right,
Joy Gray.
right, okay. All right, so that, I guess they just haven't heard anything more either recently.
Just drag it on.
Yeah, yeah. Telview contract, just to say that, let me just write unchanged in terms of status. The select board was fine with that. They, it was coming out of our money, and moving it from the expendable trust was fine, and there wasn't much discussion. Although one of them looked back in their records and said that it was paid from our annual budget 4 years ago. Although now that I see the way Linda moved it into both the expense and the income from, into our,
That's why
to
it
list in our
looked
annual
like it's
budget,
from
it
the
looks like
budget.
it was paid out of there. But,
Well, that makes things a little confusing then, when we are looking back.
yeah. But I guess that's the way it's done, so it's a question of one or more of us remembering.
Right. Although when we look at what's in our trust fund, we would
Yeah. could
see
it's
that
down.
transaction.
And if we look back at our original budget for this fiscal year and, the fact that it jumped about the time we paid this,
Mhm.
those are some big ifs, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna worry about them now,
Okay.
unless anybody else wants to do anything with that. Okay, studio renovation, and again, the board was open to that. are paying for it out of our trust fund?
That's a good question. The building belongs to the town. So are we required to pay that money or not? I mean, I would think that if the town is causing that office to be quote-unquote unhealthy for the electronics, that the town should be paying for the renovations to that, not us.
Oh. Well, we talked about it being from the expendable trust at our last meeting, and that's how I talked to the board about it and put it in writing to them. So,
Wasn't there also a heating issue?
Yeah, because if you change the door to where the window
Yeah.
is, there's a heat vent right under there. There's a baseboard right under there, it's gotta be
Alright.
moved.
well, the next step, they said, was we'll need to get a proposition, a proposal together, and put it out to bid. It isn't anything that the DPW is gonna have time to do. And that David Swift from DPW is the person to work with, that he could, come up with some numbers or help us do that. So maybe as we move along in this, we go back to the board and say, some of this.
Yeah, I think we have to tell them exactly what needs to be done. You need to take this door out, you need to do this, you need to do that kind of thing. And once you get that kind of detail, then you can go out and say, all right, what is this gonna cost me? Because
Exactly.
you gotta have, if you're going to multiple vendors, quote unquote, you gotta have the same specs for each one so that the
Right.
bids come in
Right.
balanced to even.
So the next step is to do that with Dave's help. And so the question is, who helps make that happen? I don't know that it should all be on Asia
If you need
Do
me, I
this.
can handle that.
if that's something you would
Yeah, I'd be more than happy.
meet with Asia and David with.
Sure.
Do you know David?
I don't.
Okay, do you know which
Um,
one he
yeah.
is? Who he is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, can you two get into contact with him and set a time and do that? That would be great. And given, as we're getting into colder weather and the time all these things take, I'm thinking it may be that it's
A spring
a
job.
spring job,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but to get working on it and hopefully
Yeah.
get someone committed to doing the work.
Right, I mean,
Um,
now's the time to get the plan together and get the
Right.
bids out and then actually happening in the spring, sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, that'd be great. Thank you, Doug, and thank you, Asia, to
Yep.
move on that. Okay, logo apparel. I was slow to move on this, but finally have gotten input from three, Amanda and Kasha and Asia, that a vest in light blue is a preference. Haven't heard from Carol, but we can do that. So I stopped at New England Embroidery yesterday and looked. They don't have a real light blue. I took a couple of photos in vests, but it's a little more turquoisey than I had in mind. But I don't know if the next step would be for you or Kasha or both of you to stop at some point and look at it, the colors they have for vests, and make a choice. And Kasha will need to be in touch with Lori, the woman I talked to, about the logo and just what she needs. If what we currently have will work, or if it needs to be somehow any bigger. Or
And where is
Different.
New England Embroidery?
it's Pleasant Street, turn right at the Four Corners, and it's maybe the third building down.
Okay,
um,
right in Conway.
Right in Conway,
okay.
yeah.
What kind of fabric are they made of?
Fleece, it's fleece. And in terms of cost, the vest that I looked at was $30. The one in the lighter blue color was a different brand, but she said it'd probably be about the same. The setup charge for the logo is a one-time $25, and each name is $6. So I figure it's about $170 if we do 4 vests. So, do we proceed with that?
Sure.
I think vests are a great idea.
Yeah.
You can wear them with
Must.
anything.
So that's a little dark.
Yeah.
that's, you know, not my idea of a light blue, but I could email these to you if you wanna show them to Kasha. Now,
Okay.
this company makes a vest, it wouldn't
Okay.
be this
Yep, that's just the color.
jacket, but that would be a color.
Uh,
She said there aren't a lot of light blue vests, there's this medium and then most of them are darker. So,
It's the same color as your shirt.
yeah, but it's not light blue. Your shirt is light blue,
Yes,
yeah.
that shows the dirt more.
Yeah, true.
And would this come out of the budget
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
for this year?
That's my thought, yeah,
Okay.
so, I mean, that's one thing is where to take it from.
Right.
I don't know, to me, is it supplies? It's, you know, kind of a uniform for,
Yeah, it would probably fall under supplies.
Yeah, I think so.
okay. Yeah, I don't know what else you need to buy for supplies, if that might end up we're almost at 800 there now out of $1,000 line item. But we know that individual line items aren't the important thing in the end.
Right. Yeah, I do have one more order of supplies, which when I kind of priced it out today, it was almost around the same 170.
Okay.
But like you said, as long I don't think we'll be fine on the
Mhm.
bottom line. So
And we haven't spent anything on contractors, but I'm thinking we'll get a bill from Dave
we
for,
usually
Yes,
get a
we will.
bill at the end of the year.
okay.
Yeah, and, you know, maybe I should reach out and ask him for sort of a ballpark,
Yeah.
because I know he's been spending a lot of time. We've had a few computer issues, so I hope it's not more or much more than what we've
that.
budgeted for.
Yeah, I think that'd be good to
Okay.
know where that is. And what happens if we go over our budget? Do we take, I assume we
actually
take
don't
it out of
know.
the expendable trust fund to cover the difference?
Yes,
Is
It's
that
not out of
okay?
our pay.
yeah, yeah, you get deduction in pay. too.
Right. So, you know, if we go over,
Okay,
we
We do
we
have
can
that.
cover it, yeah.
okay.
I don't think we'll need approval from the selectmen on this, it's not a lot of money, but, let's have a motion to buy these, just to authorize the expense. Okay.
Second.
Okay, so what if we say to spend up to $200?
That works.
Okay, so up to. And I assume since the bill will come to the town, that New England Embroidery will just bill us. I don't know if they've done any other work for the town, but,
Oh, yeah.
you know, if they need something from the town to authorize or whatever.
I don't think at that level they do.
Okay,
No.
okay, all right. Well, were you and Kasha,
Mhm.
and do you want me to check with Carol about a vest, or do you see her often? I can.
I can check in with Carol.
Okay, all right. All right, well, that'd be great if you'd move along on that and make it happen.
Okay.
Great.
We may decide we all want one.
Well, you know, that's another thing. If anybody wants one personally, we're not putting staff on them or anything that. you know.
No, we're just enthusiastic
wants to-
supporters. Is the logo going on there too?
Yes, yeah. It won't be shaded.
Oh, well,
My
that's-
printer is so poor, but, you know,
So it'll
that's
be black
shaded
and red.
gray, and sometimes, yeah, it'll be black and red, yeah. Some things come out shaded in red, but, you know, I think that wouldn't be part of it. That might be, if we did screen printing, they probably could do that, but not in.
Well, they can probably show you a sample. of
Well,
how
we
it's
need
gonna
to,
look.
that's why Akasha's involved, because she developed this, and she will work with them to You know, I said, are those lines too small? Will they need to be a little bigger? So those are kind of things that Kasha can work out with their design people, and then they'll do the setup charge. And then we've got that if we ever want anything else with that same logo on it. I didn't put it on here, but Asia did film the candidate meeting.
It was a good
forum
meeting.
at, in
You
Tamworth.
were there.
No, I wasn't there.
At
No,
the one
I
in the
was-
library?
No,
No,
this
this was a
was
different
in Tamworth.
Oh, the debate kind of thing,
No, it wasn't a debate, but it was a candidate forum
for
for,
both parties.
yeah, both
Yeah.
parties, and everybody showed up, all the candidates for all the local seats. It didn't include the county commissioners, but it was,
Are we gonna
others.
run that at any point so people can see it before the election?
well, it's,
Yep, I mean, I live streamed it, so it's already up on
Already
YouTube,
available.
and it is playing on the channel, so, we've had a lot of views on it. It was
Yeah,
great. We
yeah.
had, probably the night of, we had almost as many people watching it that were in the room, so,
Fantastic.
yeah,
That's good.
it was a great event, too.
yeah, and the Shakora Committee folks, John Gotchin, had done a lot of publicity on it, and it's been in the Tamworth Exchange several times since, with a link to the YouTube, so, I can put that on some of the Madison things, the Boulder and Facebook
Yeah,
pages.
yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'll do that. And I will bill them for $150 for Asia's time, and then that will go into our equipment fund, which is a place we put little bits of money that we get in for, I don't know if we've ever used anything out of it. I don't know if it would make sense to buy fleece vests out of there. Maureen said it's for equipment, so that might be a place.
Say
we could
where
go.
it goes again? Cause I thought it went in, back into our ETF. It doesn't?
We'll have to ask
Okay.
Linda, but let me find Noreen's email, because I emailed her yesterday and said, what's the name of that? I guess I put it into my Mad TV folder. Trying to keep track of things.
It's hopeless.
Madison TV equipment account. That account can be used to purchase new cameras and station equipment that might not be covered by the budget. I'm not sure, but you may need BOS approval to spend from that account. And also that's where we put revenue, which comes from making DVDs on meetings on request.
Okay.
You want me, let me send this to you, so you just have this.
Okay, thanks. So it's not the equipment line in our regular budget, it's a separate account?
Yeah. I mean, it's when, as I understand it, when we start getting money for things like making a DVD for
Yeah.
somebody, which now probably we don't ever have to do because they can find stuff online anytime. Just to keep it separate from going into the overall town budget.
Okay. Yeah, cause I don't know I honestly don't know what's in that account right now,
All right. well,
totals wise.
All right, well, I can ask, and you can too, of Linda, you know, she's away this week.
Yeah. I'll see too if there's anything at the station.
Okay.
So you want it to come out of supplies?
Well, that seems like the most
Okay.
logical place at this, you know, we don't have a miscellaneous account or anything else that really makes sense.
Makes sense.
No.
But yeah, where, you know, is that money still separate, or does it get put into our trust fund, or does it just get absorbed back into the town budget? We'll find out.
Right. Yeah, cause I know 2 years ago the association paid for us to film that same event, and we did put the funds in there, but I don't know what the total is right now, so
Yeah.
I have to look.
Okay, okay.
Or ask Linda.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
that's the easiest rather than trying to
Oh,
find a
yeah.
needle in a
Oh,
haystack.
Yeah, yeah. All right, anything else on old business? And I will bill John, and I'll have the check come here, attention you, and then you can hand it to Linda with a reminder that that's where it goes, okay?
Yeah, I think I have to give it to Becky, there's a
Okay,
process
okay,
behind it, yeah.
however, okay, whoever it goes to. Because I understand you've got some slot or somewhere here you can pick up mail,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Yep.
So, I'll get that off in the next couple of days. All right, a budget proposal for next year, or do you want to talk about UPS first? I don't know if that's a big,
Well, it kind of goes along with our budget, because it's actually really funny, Doug, because when we were at the station and you asked about the UPS, well, guess what happened with it? It failed. Well, it didn't fail, but the battery
Sure.
was dying.
Yeah.
And when Dave went to switch the batteries, they didn't fit, even
Yeah.
though it's the exact one that's supposed to go with it.
Oh,
So they did use the new UPS that was sitting on the shelf
in
there.
that box, yeah.
But I don't know if we need a backup battery now. And I did ask Dave, but he hasn't gotten back to me
Yeah.
yet. So that might just be an expense, and I don't know how much they cost. But I tried to Google it, and I
Couple hundred.
found a huge
that
range.
might be something for that equipment fund.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
true,
Yeah.
that's a good point, if there
All
is
right,
that.
remind me what UPS stands for, because I was thinking, what do we need?
Universal power, uninterruptible power
Oh, yeah,
supply.
yeah. So basically, if we lose the power at the station, it goes out for whatever reason, everything stays on. We don't, the hypercaster won't shut down.
Right.
Okay. I remember talking about it when we were there,
Right.
but, the UPS,
It's just so funny that
Acronym
you
just, I thought,
sensed it. It was
what does this have to do with us getting deliveries?
Oh, I know.
But you wanted it on the agenda, so I put it there.
Yeah.
All right,
So this is the worksheet that Linda sent to all the departments. Shows what we were approved for 2024, what we've expended so far, and then our 2025 proposed. And I plugged numbers in there, just kind of based off of the numbers I crunched and tried to figure out, what we would have come up next year. So I didn't really change much of anything except the supplies line. And supplies, another point is Linda said if we want to change any of these titles or add a line or remove a line, we can do that. So if we wanted to make a miscellaneous line for, uniforms or whatever, because right now what comes out of supplies is pretty much, it's all our annual subscriptions,
okay.
like Norton antivirus and remote PC. It's anything we need, from Staples or from B&H. So it's kind of like everything that's not computer equipment or video equipment.
Well, vests would fit under that,
Yeah, so, right, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fit under that too.
or over that.
And then I added some things that I think we're gonna need next year, we do need
Oh, you put the chair in here.
I put
Okay,
the
good,
drafting
good.
chair, and these were just, I could find completely different prices online, but this was just kind of a quick Google search to see what's out there. We might need a camera case sooner than 2025 because the one we have is actually falling apart.
Duct tape?
Maybe, could be a quick fix.
Yeah, I think if you need it, get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I did put what our franchise fee check was for this year, that's over on the right, on the bottom. And that set our budget, you know, which it usually does. I wanted, and I know I have it somewhere, but I also wanted to put what it was the previous year, because I think we can anticipate it going down each year.
Yeah.
But with that being said, you know, I guess if we have this little backup expendable trust fund, then we're okay. We've got a safety net if we needed it.
And we can change the franchise fee deduction anytime we want. So we're taking 3.5% now. We can go to 5. So if it drops too far, we can move it to 4 and boost that income a little bit.
I think when I read through the draft of the new agreement, it wasn't just that we could do it anytime or for any amount, that maybe it's only 0.5%
Yeah,
per year or.
Something like that,
Okay, yeah, so we couldn't jump to 5.
Right, no,
Not
you
jump
can't.
to 5, but we could.
No, and I don't think
okay.
you want to anyway, so that would hit the users with a
Oh, that's
larger
right.
increase on their budget, but 0.5% may
right,
not.
Right, yeah, okay. Just,
But I'd also think about the cameras you got now are multiple years old. And I know when I was running Amherst, 4 years was about it. Whether they're still
Okay.
working or not, it's time to think about replacing them. And
Yeah, and that's why I did leave the equipment line at 5,000, which is what we budgeted for last year. But then, you know, there was more taken out of that because we didn't receive as much franchise fees as we expected. But we have a new computer, so I didn't think we would need any computer
Right.
equipment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wanted to leave 5,000 in there in case we needed cameras. Not that I don't think the Canons cost that much, but I don't know.
I would disagree.
Oh.
okay.
I don't think these are adequate.
Oh, yeah, right, you've made that point before,
Yes.
that we should have.
Something more professional than these. And if time comes, do you want to look at these things, let me know, and I can
Okay,
give you some assistance in
okay.
doing that.
The difference this year, we're about $3,000 less because
Okay.
our, you know, the bottom income line is what we got for, you know, from Spectrum
Okay,
in March this year, and so by looking back to, you know, one of last year's budgets, then it was
it was like
47. 46 and a half. And
Okay.
So it was down by 2,800.
okay.
Well, so back to better cameras, should that be a higher, should we have more than that for equipment?
It's hard to say. You have no idea what we paid for these cameras?
I would have to look, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't here when I purchased them.
I would bet a new, good quality camera is gonna be in the $3,000 to $4,000 range.
Oh,
Wow.
how many do we have?
Two.
Too.
One that sits here permanently, and one that gets traveled around and around.
Yeah,
And I would use the new one for the traveling camera, since
Right.
this one sits here, it does the job.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's,
yeah. And are the cameras you have in mind, are these a lot larger? I'm just kind of thinking of like weight and traveling and,
they are a little bit larger, they were, some of them tend to sit on your shoulder,
okay,
but they're ergonomic.
okay.
So they're not, you know, unwieldy.
Uh-huh.
They don't necessarily have to be that large, but
Right,
they get better lenses in them, and they get better processors and
okay,
that kind of stuff, so.
all right. Well, yeah, I guess if you wanna send me some
Yeah, I'll just poke around
examples.
and,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I used for years Sony cameras and they were excellent,
okay,
but, I'll look around and see what I find.
okay.
I mean, you can always go to a Red and spend $45,000 for a camera.
Oh, that would
Let's not.
pretty much wipe out our special trust fund. Yeah, yeah. I wonder about adding another line to say annual subscriptions and making that one line. And then supplies for the
Yeah,
other things.
right, we
Yeah.
could use some sort of, you
That's a good
know,
idea.
online subscription, or, yeah.
Recurring costs or something like that, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know how we wanna.
yeah, that's a good
say
idea.
it, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 or so that come up every year.
Yeah, so I think it would be good to pull that out. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, I
it's-
guess even subscriptions could be
Yeah,
Yeah,
an appropriate
yeah,
title
yeah,
for it.
Yeah, okay, okay. And is Corel a subscription?
So Corel is what we edit the videos on, and they have upgrades every now and again. The
Okay.
last time they had an upgrade, it was in 2023, and it was $63.99.
Okay.
I haven't seen any upgrades for this year, but I'm kind of just guessing it's gonna be around 80 the next
Okay.
time
So
there's
it's
an
not an
upgrade.
annual, it's a,
Yeah, it
Whenever
makes
they-
it kinda,
yeah.
I mean, I'm
yeah.
glad with, there's no upgrades.
But if we're not calling it annual subscriptions, but subscriptions.
Subscriptions,
Then
yeah.
Corel could go there too,
and
Right,
if you don't spend it, you don't spend it, that's all.
right.
right? And,
Yeah, I like that, it would,
Okay.
I think it would help.
and the PEG media too? That's all
Yeah,
part of that, okay.
well, that might be supplies. It's not really a subscription, but we load it up with a little bit of money and then we buy videos off of it as we.
So, but it's not an item like a camera case or a monopod.
Correct,
So
right.
it seems to me that that's all part of the,
So you're suggesting we create another line?
Another
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
yeah, if that's easy to do. And salary-wise, wages, I mean, we're in pretty good shape at this point.
Yeah, I think we're okay, and I don't know, I mean, any input is welcome, but I think we'd be okay if we kept it around the same for next year too. I mean, I tried to calculate like, okay, so if everybody gets $1 or $2
I was
raise,
just gonna say, is
but
that-
we'll still, I think we would still fall, cause I don't think we're gonna hit 35,000 that we proposed for this year. I think,
Yeah, you're only, what are we, this October?
So you're,
You got 10 weeks left in the year, so.
yeah,
well, but I don't know that people have been paid for the first 2 weeks of October, so, I mean, we're talking a quarter of the year
on the draw,
left.
yeah, cause on the drawdown, there's only like 2 lines for October, so there will be more coming out, but,
Yeah, so I guess you're right, we're 75% through for the year, and we're 73% paid, so
yeah.
it looks like
It's
we're
close.
right on.
Okay, okay. But I put a non-public meeting on to talk about salaries, so
Okay.
wages. So I don't know, should we,
And then the only other thought was, I should probably go back to the drawing board if we were gonna hire one more person. But I think we're okay right now, staff-wise. It had come up in a previous
And
meeting,
who's
so.
got, you say two of the women have full-time jobs now, or real jobs?
Daytime.
Amanda does, I know, and
Mhm.
Kasha.
Mhm.
Kasha always did though, didn't she?
No,
No.
she kinda, I think she worked remotely and had flexibility there, so.
so I wonder if we should up salaries by 10%, not that I expect we're gonna, I don't know that we'll give 10% raises, but
I have no problem with that.
you never do.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I don't either, or I
Yeah.
don't want
Right,
to have a
right.
problem with it, I just wanna make sure we stay in our budget.
Yeah, so I'd say
So.
make that 33 instead of 30. Does that make sense? I mean, also
I'm sorry,
think,
say that again?
Well, wait, I have it at 35.
oh, you have it
so
35, so I make it 38?
38,
Because if we do hire somebody else,
yeah.
Well, but if you hire somebody else, they're taking hours away from
The other
somebody else. So
person,
the hours
yeah.
are gonna stay the same, essentially, even though you got
Yeah.
divided by 5 instead of divided by 4.
Right, and
Yeah.
there'd be some training, so there'd
Yeah,
be a little
of
bit of
course.
doubling up on hours.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, I kinda consider that if we were to hire someone, then, I don't think it would be a huge
No,
cost.
I don't either.
all right, so if we up the wages to 38 and create another line item for subscriptions
Great.
and
I
leave
like
other
that.
things as you have them?
Any other? I don't know. This is only my
So-
second year doing this,
Yeah.
so any other input, I'm really
So-
happy to take.
So what is the drafting chair?
Oh, just a taller chair, because
Just
our
the-
computers are,
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So one that'll,
Yep, raise up
yeah,
higher. Yes,
yeah,
I understand what
yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
and it also has like the footrests.
Yeah.
Like right now, I can sit comfortably at the computers, but my feet actually don't touch the ground, so. And that's actually really bad for you. It's
Yes,
not-
very bad.
Yeah,
Yes, it
so.
Yeah. And we talked about this last year, or was it earlier this year, just before the BOS said, don't spend any non-essential money, and so we thought,
That's
well,
true, right, and yeah.
Yeah, we'd approved buying a chair and
That's fine.
didn't. Okay, I think this looks good, if you'll put that back together and.
Okay, Linda
send
wants
us-
a copy of this by the 18th, so I'll send it
This
along
month?
and, yes. And then if we need to, if I need to rework it, or if she comes back with questions or anything, I'll let you know.
Okay, yeah, and be in touch if you can't. I mean, I'll be away for a week or so later in the month. I plan to be gone for almost 3 weeks, but I'm not going to Asheville where my sister is because.
Oh, goodness.
She's
I
grounded.
can't imagine why.
Oh, is she okay?
Yeah, everything's
Oh,
okay, but they
wow.
still don't have power, and so
Oof.
more family are living together in the house I would have visited, and, it's just.
Wow,
Christmas.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
terrible.
It's an awful time to travel.
Yeah.
You could start the 1st of December.
Other commitments. Okay, well, that's what's here. Hanging is still updating policies, which we talked about back in August, and Noreen did quite a bit of work on. But we had so much else today, and definitely when I had sent her the agenda and said, do you think he'll come? And she said, no, sorry, she couldn't. I thought I'd rather wait and talk about that when she can be here as a member of the public, since she can't be here at this point as a
Right.
alternate. So that'll be something to put on the agenda for when we meet again. So that's a question, is when do we meet again? We talked about doing maybe December. And then kind of put us on schedule to meet again after town meeting in March. And I know I have a busy week, the first week of December, with another bake sale. In addition to the one this Saturday at
More bread?
20 loaves so far.
You have orders for 20 loaves?
No, but I've baked that many.
That's how many you add in, okay.
So Wednesday, the 11th
Fine
of
with me.
December?
12, 11.
Fine with me.
Okay. And I'll check that date with Kate.
Same time?
1 o'clock, let's go there. I said 1:30 just in case otherwise people ran late. In fact, I drove by here at about 11 and the parking lot was full of cars. And I thought,
Really?
oh, they're still meeting.
Yeah, I think they met till noon today, so.
Interesting enough, I got a call from, never remember his name. Used to live in town, now he's moved out of town, he's gonna come back to town, was a fireman. It doesn't matter. Anyway, he said he was looking for one of the meetings for the Edelweiss people, and he couldn't find it, it wasn't on the website. So I told him, go look on YouTube, because it's probably there. Now, I haven't heard back from him yet, so I assume he found it
He's
on
still
YouTube.
watching.
Yeah, you clean things off the server at some point in time, so that these Edelweiss ones aren't back to March or wherever he was looking for.
Yeah, off the server, they only go back about 6 months.
Oh,
I
okay.
do need to actually kind of clean up YouTube. It's on one of my winter tasks because we have, years of
Yeah.
videos on there, so at some point I'll clean up YouTube. But you can also send in my way, because I can reload a video if
Yeah.
it's,
No, I figured that, but I figured,
Yeah.
I said, send them to YouTube.
Yeah.
If you can't find it there, we'll do something else.
yep.
But, yeah.
All right, then I would, anything else before we adjourn to non-public? All right, I would take a motion to adjourn to non-public
So move.
Second?
Let me shut this thing down.
at 2:15.